Discord. I have a website as well where I have like members subscribe and keep up with the latest tea and everything. But for the most part, I noticed that Discord, having a membership on there where a bunch of girls can talk about what athletes they're dating or the latest news going on, they enjoy that way more. So now if I get deleted off Instagram, I have a little community, a little army behind me where it's like I really didn't go nowhere.
Yeah. So they
Mm-hmm.
can't
So you
wipe you
just
out the
keep
map.
it God first, huh?
So they can't wipe you out the map. There's no way.
At all, at all. They can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah, can't
They
stop, won't
don't.
stop, and and even though like as resilient as Tosh is, and Tosh, I'm gonna pick on you for just a little bit. As
Okay.
resilient as you are, is like I'm always reminded through our talks of just like how you don't rise to how great you are. You actually fall to your systems and your discipline, and these are like one of the things, not necessarily the discipline, but just like the systems and processes that you could use and have in place. These are
Mhm.
the conversations that we kind of go over, every once in a while. And I'm still here anytime you need me to just like be able to walk through some of these things, and we could even tackle a couple what those things might look like, on this call as well, like whatever questions you might have, because I'm sure it will be super relatable to Marcus as well. With
Yeah.
starting his journey too. So, let's kind of start there. I do want to pivot a little bit because we are now live for our YouTube members as well. So like for our members who are joining us on YouTube, whether you a creator or pro creator or you hit that legend creator tier, welcome. Super happy to have y'all. Y'all are just tuning in a little bit late. If you're not in that Discord, you might have missed our pre-live party that we having right now. I got Tosh and Marcus in the building, and we just kind of catching up on where they are in their journey. But if you need that Discord link, make sure on YouTube you go to membership and you hit that Discord link so that you can join us on Discord, and make sure that you get the information like having access to these Zoom rooms, having featured articles written about you. We're going to be doing some in-person meetups pretty soon. It's a whole lot of activity that I want to bring to the Discord. So that's where you also want to be just for that extra level of engagement, and also to connect with people like Taj, Marcus, and other content creators that are in there as well. So that's my little shameless plug. Taj, hit me with something that's been bogging you down, because I know you got like your sleep schedules messed up. You want to tackle this Google Calendar and everything like that. What's been on your mind, the top of this week?
So what bothers me is like my sleep schedule's still shitty. I woke up today around like 10 and it was like, okay, cool. And then I got on there and like sometimes I get overwhelmed because it's like the messages are like overflowing. So I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna exit out and I'll be back later.
Mhm.
But one thing that is cool that they don't care what time I come, long as they know I'm coming with the tea. So that's good. But I do want to provide content earlier in the day all the way till like 10, 11 o'clock. That's when I usually cut it off. But I struggle with scheduling, like keeping up with my day-to-day life, like from blogging to having to deal with my personal stuff.
Mhm.
Like I forget certain things that I need to do, like get my contacts, and
Chunking.
it's terrible when it comes to that. And then it's like things like business ventures I want to do on the business side of my blog that I haven't got done yet, like creating merch. What's the other thing that I really want to do? Like looking into grants and learning about business credit lines and different things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And man, I wish you was on here a couple weeks ago, because we were talking about the book that we wrapping up right now is called Essentialism, and it's the disciplined art of doing less. And
Uh-huh.
you know, Tosh, you remind me of me like, a year ago, maybe even a little bit more than that. Like just when you have this big vision and you start to see like the smallest piece of the vision starting to come together, our
Right.
our eyes get a little bit big, and we start to have visions of other things that can happen. Oh, if this just happened, oh, now I could do this, and when this happened, I could do that. And we start to kind of get ahead of ourselves, and trying to you know move so many different pieces when it's chess. Even in
Right.
checkers, you know because sometimes in checkers you can bounce across the board. You can make them big major jumps. I don't know if anybody play checkers, but with chess,
Yeah, cool.
it's like you got to move your piece and you got to take your time and you got to be strategic. And that's what
Right.
more so like not just the content creation, but just leveraging your content as a business. You got to be super strategic on how you do it. And we might have an idea where we want to do this, but this might be step Y where we still in step C, and
Right.
the whole alphabet of steps that we have to go through before we can even get to that one. So I just want to encourage you to kind of like, take a step back. Maybe even if that looks like, taking a little staycation or a little mini vacation outside of your hometown or outside of the city that you reside in right now, just so you can see something a little bit different to put yourself in a different mindset. And it just
Yeah.
comes with like just prioritize. And
Yeah.
when I mean
Oh,
by prioritize, look at it a little bit differently too.
done.
Say that again.
A media kit done because I got an interview with a radio station. She was like, none of these
Press
certain, huh?
You looking for your press kit or your media kit?
Yeah, media kit with like your analytics and stuff, so you could be able to shop yourself around to brand deals. And she was like, this such and such like person never asked you to come on TV, and I was like, no. And she was like, you need to create like a media kit. She called it a one sheet, and I was like, what is that? Because I'm just a hood journalist. I don't know anything about anything. So she was like, oh, it's a media kit with your analytics, who's featured you and different things, so you could put yourself out there and like
Your
reach out.
resume.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a resume. It's a media.
It's like a resume.
Yeah, like
This sounds like.
You could get that made on Fiverr. Like I've gotten something like that made off of Fiverr. They could do it as like $15, $20. So that way, like don't stress over like stuff like that. Like
because because of the type of people though that I'm in front of, like I want to do like a business shoot and everything. Like, I gotta show you what the media kits kind of look like. Because it's like I noticed that they do like shoots, like they put it well together, and I'm like, for the type of audience and whoever, I gotta make sure I look on point.
Yeah, it's more so of making sure that you have the if you're going to go with the Fiverr route, again, they just make sure you have the content that makes it look up to the standard that you're looking for, and they could just piece it together still. So you don't have to play, editor or anything like that, or graphic design. You got a whole lot of other things that you could be focusing on. Being a graphic designer is not one that you want to add to your plate. Trust me.
I definitely don't, because it's hard. Being a graphic designer is not easy. I tried it today.
Yeah. So as far as those things, we got to figure out ways that we can create systems that just allow you to kind of like go down the list or streamline it to where everything just kind of flows. So where you feel like everything is in a web, you get to more so feel like everything is in a pipeline.
Right.
A pipeline is much more simple than a web, because we know webs can be sticky. They're hard to get rid of. Some things might get caught, some things might fall off, whatever the case may be. Webs are just a lot more trickier, but a pipeline is secured, is safe. Everything is, all the T's and I's are dotted and checked off, because you gotta go through this to be able to get to that anyway. So that's the whole idea of a pipeline. Are you using any type of project manager like Asana or
Trello?
What? What is
TikTok or something like that?
No, I don't need. What is a project manager?
Right.
There's all different types of ones. There's different types of ones out there. It's like to-do list style ones. There's like, I use one called TickTick now.
Now, but what does it do? Like, what does it entail?
Just organizes like a lot of things. Like, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm about to.
Yeah, I definitely don't have one.
It's like organizer, which is like digital set reminders, stuff like that.
All right,
I'm just winging this whole thing, to be honest.
Here go the one I use. So I use Asana, but I also use Monday. I'm gonna show you what. All right, there we go.
You can check out.
This is what my Monday board looks like. So this is just like a way to, kind of organize your stuff. You can create different stages, like things that are in queue. So especially for somebody like you, Tosh, with a whole bunch of ideas, you could just write those ideas and put them in queue. Don't mean you have to worry about it. Don't mean you have to work,
Uh-huh.
but you could just put it up next so that you know when to work on it, when you want to work on it. We got things that are in production, ready for approval, approved, done. But it's like you can name these stages however you want to name them. And then
Yeah.
do I still have Asana on here? Yeah, I still got Asana
Yeah.
on. Asana is pretty much like the same thing. It has these different, like, that's called the Kanban view. I like to call it the pipeline or stages view because it allows you to visually see where your projects are, what tasks your projects are in. So if I go to like so when I was helping Kaya and them with their podcast, this is what our board looked like. It was like the different topics they wanted to talk about when they were working on them in creation. No. Ready to record it, and it just goes all the way down to where when we got the timestamps scheduled and published, timestamps approved, edited, clips scheduled, clips posted. Like we laid out the entire process from the ideation down to the post-production and then the marketing of the episode. So like for you, like coming up with something like this, some type of like pipeline view or process like a board, this will help you a lot just to be able to, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a process of like how you write your blogs, but it could just be a project board, like different projects that you want to work on. And then the beauty of having something like this is if you do have the budget or you have somebody that says, hey, Tosh, I want to help you, whether they charge you or it's free. If you have something like this, it's a lot easier to communicate and train somebody how to help you versus if you don't have something like this. Like if you get good at having a project manager, like you can just bring somebody on tomorrow and say, hey, this is what I need help with. This is what you will be responsible for. This is how you move this over. This is the process that we have for this. Like,
yeah, you can assign it and stuff like that.
So it's so much more organized.
So I need to get on there and play around with that.
Yeah, and Asana is free. I don't know about Monday. Monday is courtesy of the school that I work with. But Asana, I know for sure is free. Trello's free too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just check out and see which one will work best for you, Asana or Trello.
Okay.
Like to do list style ones and things like that. Shit, like more.
I might have to have y'all send me the names.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna send the names in the Discord for sure. Once we wrap up here, because if I send it in the chat, it's just gonna disappear, and you won't have if you ain't running access.
Okay.
So I'll make sure I put it in the Discord. But this week, y'all, I really just wanted to kind of hop on here and just kind of see where y'all was in y'all journeys. Do a little Q&A. I got some questions about content creation that people have asked me off of social media that I could pop up, if there was no specific questions that y'all had, and then we can kind of, make that conversational. But before I even bring any of those up, like Marcus, did you have any specific questions about where you are in your podcast creation or just content creation?
I would say like not exactly yet because I think I have like for the most part, like until I get to that, like until I finish the story part, like the bio part, because I believe that a lot of it is gonna be built out by a lot of the creators, like local clothing brands and some of the people that I know like personally already, because of how much I'm just putting into it and just kind of like they've already been making a lot of clothing. I just found out, matter of fact, I just seen something today, like another hoodie or something that was put out with my brother and the local artist that was on his album. They made like a hoodie of him today, something like that.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, man.
I don't know if I can tell you that one. They got something on there like every day. Like it's something up there. That's a combination of both of their pictures, but
that's dope.
Yeah, it's a combination of both of their pictures. Like my
so
brother.
You sell merch?
No, my brother was a producer, and they have merchandise on there. People been making a different type of merchandise with him. Because my brother had a clothing brand, and like SUV service, and he did music, so he had his own like music brand and stuff like that. So my podcast is kind of based around his legacy.
Okay, your podcast.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I plan on doing like clothing and stuff like that, and other things like that as well. That's gonna be coming around to it because I have like Cause my brother owns a clothing brand, like he owned part of a clothing brand already. So I'm
Mhm.
Oh,
gonna
that's
be
dope.
like doing a collaboration with that and a local
Yeah.
artist that made his mural in the city.
Yeah.
For a few
You
different
could
pieces.
honestly, bro, what I would do is so that way you don't get, stuck trying to launch a new clothing brand from scratch is I would
Mhm.
definitely collaborate with them, but I would even make that clothing brand, I would make that the official merch of your podcast.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
what I want
So
to
it's
do.
like you start wearing the merch on the shows, having the links, and then of course the podcast should get an affiliate commission for the sales made, from the shows and stuff like that and everything.
Mhm.
So, I would definitely work that out so that way you
I'll
get
put
to
it down.
still focus on creating, driving the podcast, doing what
Mhm.
you do best, and then you let the people who already have the systems and the structure, of the
Yeah.
clothing brand, let them do what they do, and then y'all just come together.
Cause the
Right.
brand is actually pop up. Like they mostly do pop ups around the city. Like that's the crazy
Yeah.
part. Is that there's no like set store for it, and that's what makes it like crazy in a sense.
Mhm.
Cause it's like then we could just release stuff like after the podcast is kind of over. Like or if I
You
had it
could do
on
the
that week or
podcast at one
whatever.
of the. You could
Like
do a podcast at one of the pop ups.
no doubt, I really could.
Yeah,
But no doubt.
it's all content. That's amazing. All right, that's amazing. Tosh, what about you? You got any specific questions?
I want
Okay.
to know who if anybody knows any graphic designers because I want to get into merch too. Even though I'm a gossip blog, I really am into like being a creative. Like I feel like an artist sometimes because I do one day eventually want to like get into directing music videos for some reason, like just something fun. I've
Mhm.
always wanted to do because
Executive producer.
I used to be cool with a girl on Power that sings, and she used to always ask me for creative direction. So I think I would do that for fun in my spare time. But I like dope artwork and pieces, and I don't want to just slap things on a shirt for real and just sell it. I would love to create something,
A
then
brand.
slap it on a shirt
Yeah,
and sell it.
yeah. You know Tim Tosh?
Who?
Tim? Well, one of
No.
the guys, like Dre, he cool with Dre and Dre and Zay.
I don't feel like I've ever met him.
Okay,
Maybe I did and I just don't remember.
he might or might not have. But he's actually a graphic designer. He designed my website. He does a lot of graphic design work for me, so I could connect y'all. But also as far as like if you want to be a creative director for your music videos, that definitely should be something you want to do for fun. Because let me tell you, artists usually don't have no budget when it comes.
They so broke now these days.
Now these days it's
The
tough.
streams is crazy.
Remember when the video vixens used to get paid like 3 bands and stuff? Them girls
Yeah.
is getting paid $1.50.
I started out doing music videos and I had to, it was rough. I mean, it took me a while to finally work up to, be able to show and pitch to an artist why they would want to pay $1,000 for a music video. But before then, I was looking at them $150, $200 budgets, and it was like, this is what I could do with that.
That's so
That's
embarrassing.
crazy. That's
what I
crazy.
do,
You
yeah.
need to
So
get
what
up
would
on that
you
with that.
do? You would actually help shoot the actual music video, or what part did you play?
Oh, I did everything. I was the creative director and the videographer. I'm and the editor. I edit, recorded, came up with the concept. Like for a lot of the music videos that I did, I got one on my YouTube channel that got like 14,000 views. For
Wow.
him, I gave him all the different set locations he wanted to use. I operated the drone, operated the camera, helped
Wow.
him paint the story. I listened to the song, said this is the
Yeah.
story that I hear, from
Directed the
listening
whole
to the
thing.
song. Yeah, like literally the whole thing from start to finish.
Wow.
Yeah, so
And,
it's like
and
it's fun. It's definitely fun. I hear you, but just don't expect I mean, it
no,
might
I would
take
do it as
you-
a hobby. It would be a hobby.
Yeah, and you also plugged in with the WAG, so you might end up getting a retired NFL player that want to rap, and they got the
Oh no. I do not want to produce nothing for them.
Oh man. Oh
That's
man.
wild.
All right, cool. Switching gears just a little bit, right? Because I got one question that I think is kind of relevant to what we talk about right now.
Okay.
My boy T Wise asked me a couple weeks ago, how do you avoid burnout from making content?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's a really good question, and it happened to me so many times to where every time I had to result back to like, this is like my foundation. It's like just creating a schedule, sticking to the schedule, plan and execute. That's all it is. It's like, if you think about it, what's easier? If you got 7 days and you need 7 pieces of content, is it easier recording one piece of content every day or picking one day to record 7 pieces of content? What do you think would be easier?
Probably one day to record 7 pieces.
Yeah, they
Exactly.
yeah.
Because you think about it, it's like the gym. If when people say they're gonna go to the gym every day versus the person who said I'm going to work out on a specific, specific muscle at least 3 days a week, they usually are more. They usually end up going to the gym more than and this is for the person that's just getting started right now. If you've been going to the gym for years now, it's probably easier for you to go to the gym every day now at this point. But let's say 2 people just now getting started. The person who gets started and say I'm gonna go to the gym 3 days a week and I'm gonna work out for 2 hours versus the person who says I'm gonna go every day. That person who works out 3 days a week probably ended up going to the gym more than the person who said they was gonna work out every day. Because
Right.
the thing about it is when you try to do something every day, you don't take into account that life is going to life. You are going to have things come up. You are going to have, schedules change, friends, family come in town, or you might get sick, right? Because like that's literally what burnout causes you. Burnout can literally play a part into your physical health and make you sick. You start getting headaches, stress, and all that other stuff. So like you could, go strong for 5 days, burn yourself out, and then on that 6th day, you run a fever, and now you can't perform day 5 or day 6 or day 7. So it's like it's a lot easier batching your content. So anytime if I want to avoid burning out when it comes to making content, I come up with a 7, 15 to 30-day plan. It might be a 7-day plan, a 15-day plan, or a 30-day plan to create content. And I'm going to schedule days that are content batching days, content production. And then I'll have other days that are set for post-production, like editing and everything like that. And then the other days are going to be scheduled for marketing or distribution. So it's just like having a plan, sticking to that plan, and just executing.
But you know what sucks for me? I can't do that because there's new stories coming every day.
Yeah, it's stories every day. And let me ask you, Tasha, how are you collecting the information that gets coagulated into a story?
So I've been doing this for like 4 or 5 years now. So I've developed a relationship through the sports community with a lot of women. So a lot of women are writing me, telling me things. Maybe sometimes from time to time, an athlete might tell me something, or friends of a friend. So I get my information from my consumers, and then like, the public information that's already out there. But usually since I'm already like plugged in, I'll get more of the inside scoop on what's going on because I know like people in that industry.
Yeah. What would it look like for you to have or to create a submission form that people can go to and they can and you can still make it feel like they talking to you or like that they're spilling the tea to you? There's a whole lot of ways that you could do this, but what would it look like for you to have a submission form for people to spill the tea? And then that submission form is entered in a process that makes it easier for you to write and publish these blogs.
I don't think that's really possible, honestly, because not only just but the Shade Room and everything, they're taking stories through the DM too. I don't know if they always been or whatever the case, but all these major blogs, they're taking stories through the DM. It's easier, it's quicker. I might create like a phone number hotline where girls can reach out, because they just like the feeling of feeling like you're personable and they can get into contact with you. I've done email too, but for the most part, I don't feel like I could create a form unless I make it like big time, like TMZ, to where you can't really get to me.
Yeah, but like, okay, so I'm just thinking about sustainability, right? Too, because like making yourself too accessible is kind of it puts a glass ceiling on yourself because it will only be about a certain amount of stories you can hear in one day. It's always going to be a certain amount of stories you can take notes for and then turn into
like how long jump
story in one day. It's like with the thing about the form or just any type of process is like that's something that you can have 1,000 people. in one day. You can have 1 million people go through that process, and it's like just collecting data, collecting
like a phone
information.
number.
What are you?
You said what,
peers?
Marcus?
Sounds like a phone number or something like that.
Yeah, I was thinking about starting like my own hotline once I get a second phone. So I don't, because I really don't like talking to these people all day.
Be real. You could batch it out and put some hours on that thing. Until you like yeah, little Calendly or something. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I try not to get on my blog and blog like 2 or 3 days out the week because I'm like, y'all don't understand. Like, they be looking for me. Like, if they don't see me posting, they go and stalk my personal Instagram. And I'm like, I don't know what part y'all don't be really realizing that it's very hard to talk to a bunch of different personalities or just write in all day.
You got to
Like,
get the work of it. Yeah, you did VA.
But I can't afford. Like once I'm able to afford to have extra help, I will do that. But like, it's work, and I need to brand and market myself better. But I can't do everything at once all by myself.
I want to give you some sauce, but I can't. This is some post live sauce. So when we get off the YouTube live, I'll give you this sauce because I think it will help. And
okay.
I want you to go about it with an open mind, just looking at what your alternatives are. Because the last thing I want you to do is go into it already, feeling defeated, like all hope is lost. Like, this is my situation and this is the situation I got to deal with.
You don't want to feel hopeless, yeah. As far as like you're at the mercy of your consumers, like you don't want to feel like that.
Yeah. I completely understand where y'all coming from. Because boy, when I tell y'all be tired of talking to these people all day, but it's like that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me in the know of what's going on.
You need some like people that's gonna be voluntarily like feeding you information. Like everybody can just take in all the like a funnel. You know what I mean? Instead of it being like you at the top of the funnel, it's just other people that like the guys just get your little circle of people.
And that's what everything
give you the hot scoops, all that, give you some notes or something, pass it on to you. You can just get it in bullet points. How you like to get it.
And that's what everything is. Everything is about creating like a funnel. All a funnel is just like whether it's a physical funnel or a metaphorical funnel. All a funnel is just a process of taking a whole lot of information and getting it out into the same result every time. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can you create? What process, what system, what person can you bring on? What job can you create? What can you do to take all this information, all these phone calls, all these DMs, all this data and create processes?
I'm sure there's people that will want to do that. That got nothing better to do.
I know, but it's hard to trust. It's hard to trust people in the sports gossip world too. Because I've been traumatized by a few of these females. You think you could trust them to do certain stuff. That's and then like once they get mad and all this, all of a sudden you just a trifling scamming ass bitch all of a sudden.
You ever think of like get people to sign agreements? I mean, hey, look, a lot of people not gonna go.
You gotta be willing to take people to court though too. So if you ain't, you can't bring on if you can't bring on a VA, you can't.
But it's also a good scare tactic because a lot of players have written me talk about, I'm calling my lawyer. Girl, when you got the truth, ain't nothing you can do because I'm really good at my job. I don't care. Call them lawyers.
You know who can't do you dirty?
Who?
AI.
Yourself?
No AI.
Sometimes I've been using Chat GPT for like my news story because I'm not into news gossip, but yeah.
Chat is like chat now. Tosh is at the bottom of the barrel. They at the entrance.
Let me delete it. Y'all got to put me on.
Don't delete it. There's just so many others that you could be using for different aspects. Like now you got copy AI. You literally can take a brand. You can create a brand voice for yourself, upload it into copy AI, and then now it starts to speak as if it is you in your brand voice. You got.
I don't like that. That's scary to me.
That was scary.
It's scary, but it's just the direction that we going to. At one point,
I ain't going in that direction.
I'm sure at one point, when we started migrating from the south to the north. I'm sure them white folks thought it was scary seeing all these black people with long hair.
Hey,
Honey,
no,
they
man,
they
do
is
the same
they
thing.
is white and we is black. It is
Yeah,
not the same thing.
Hey, look, man.
and these is AIs.
Nah, baby.
Only
We is better than the AIs.
I'm trying to tell you, Tosh, you got to get with the wave and use AI to work for you. It's free. It's free labor.
It's giving clone. I don't know what. Next they gonna know my social security number.
I ain't gonna lie to you. That I did it like someone's gonna copy my voice and like do that. I don't know how many phone calls. Somebody might use it to make a phone call. You never know.
No, first of all, they copying your voice already, y'all. They copying your voice.
I mean, but at least I don't see it.
I'd rather live in delusion and act like I just didn't give myself over to them easily like that.
I can't.
Like they got anything else, man.
I can't believe
they got to fool me with something.
We're gonna have this conversation in a different environment,
a different vibe.
Because I know we're gonna come back to it. We're gonna come back to it.
Sitting there like Cyborg, man. He's gonna be sitting there like having all different type of AI. It's gonna be AI spokesman, man. God gonna be talking to me, and next thing you know, he's not gonna say no words, but just it's gonna be words coming out of his side of the mic. Watch.
Yeah.
Right.
He's gonna be tired to us from now on.
I'm determined to change your mind, though, Tosh. I'm determined.
I hear you, but I don't know.
Certain systems could work. I mean, outside of AI, technically, you know what I mean? They just put AI everywhere.
I see the pros, but the cons is kind of conning for me. I don't know.
What's the real cons?
I just don't like feeling like
is that a real
somebody has my voice and at any time it can like say shit. Like that's weird.
No. Okay.
I guess the variety in which it says
voice. When I say brand voice, I'm not saying your literal voice, like how you hear me talking right now. That's not what I mean by brand voice. When I mean by brand voice, let's say your brand voice is intellectual, or let's say, for example, my brand voice for the $1 Million Mind is young entrepreneur Black. That's like the brand voice. I can go more specific on what the brand voice might be. That's what I mean by brand voice, because then when I say talk to me in my brand voice, they're going to write me up a piece of copy or a prompt that speaks to that person. Yeah. That's what I mean by brand voice.
Oh, because I'm thinking, what's the movie Will Smith was in?
Yeah,
iRobot. Take over the world.
No, nothing like that.
That's the biggest. That's the scariest thing, man. World War III don't scare me no way. Like that AI thing is a whole different beast.
Yeah, like, imagine
even Elon Musk scared. That's crazy, but he said it. He was like, yeah, that's what we should really be worried about. AI, like.
You're not really.
Yeah.
They feeding that fear to y'all, so y'all.
He profitable. Yo, he profited heavy. Like, look, man.
Not scared.
If he profited over it. That's the crazy part. Like, look, he telling us he's scared of something he making money off of. That's how bad it is. Like, that's how bad it is.
You can't trust none of them.
That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. Like,
all right, y'all. Look, here we go. I got another question for y'all. What are some different ideas that you can promote an episode on IG? Clips, photos, prompts. What are some different ways that you can promote? We talked about a couple markets.
Local influencer, please. I was talking about that. Like local influencer pages. I mean, everybody has like, and it's wild to say this. And this is like, it's like a totally black thing. It's probably like pretty morbid, but there's like here we have Murder Inc., which is like Baltimore. Like it's kind of like your like a local news outlets. There's like only in Baltimore here, which is like concept to that. And they do promo specials. Like a lot of them, you check their actual stories, like they'll actually show you, like tell you how much the promo is being. The promo is like $10-15, whatever. And if you're not like you're looking into something like more of a free route, I mean, I guess the only thing you could really do is really just start to like really understand how hashtags work, and then the understanding like For You pages, trying to understand where the engagement comes from. Because obviously you got like dashboards and stuff like that when it comes down to IG. But when it comes down to promotion, like marketing, I would go as far as like your local businesses, like especially local news outlets that are popular. Like, and it's not hard to find them, like, because most of the time, if you depending on your demographic, like they follow those pages or you follow them yourself. I hope, like
influencer marketing.
Yes, yeah, and influencer marketing, but in a way that's like you're gonna touch the people that you really want to reach. You know what I mean? If it's it depends on your audience, right? I mean, because obviously everybody's audience will be different. You know what I mean? Like the people that are looking for like business, I would say like local news outlets, things like that. Like, because we have a few of them here that are pretty popular. Like, it's even like a page called like Baltimore Uncut here, like that does like promo every weekend. It's like stuff like that, and even ones in other states. I mean, if you can't find them in your state, I mean, there's nothing to promote yourself in other places. Like,
Right, facts.
I mean, like, don't ever be scared to not do that.
I know how much it costs to get a post promoted on the Shade Room.
Thousands of dollars.
Like, couple. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
I mean, Hollywood Unlocked is $4,500 right now. They might have went up to $7,500 from the last time that I talked to them, but it's like these are now. Granted, Shade Room got now I think like 33 million followers now. So like you go to a smaller promo page that might only have 100,000. 200,000 followers.
Tap in.
Tap in with the fools. You definitely gonna have to make sure that the engagement is real, though. You still want to check your, cross your T's and dot your I's on that. But also, these are things that you got to pay for. What will be some like starting out for
TikTok?
Yeah, what are some organic ways that you can promote your content?
When it comes down to like promoting it, yeah, for sure. If not just TikTok, then it's just like making sure that you use the audiences that are like around you. Because like what I guess I understand, and also learning like a little bit of algorithms. You can do that easily. Like you can look it up on a lot of different you can look it up on YouTube and a few other places, like what are primary times, like the posting times and things like that, like the 11 to 2 rule, right? Depending on where you're at, depending on who your audience is, and then you got like what else is there?
Y'all want to hear something that blew my mind?
What's up?
What?
I was watching the episode or an interview with Mr. Beast, crazy YouTuber. If y'all don't know,
he did the man.
He does streaming, right?
People don't remember what he used to do before he got all that money, man. He used to do things for like hours and hours long, like just whatever. He used to read the Bible for 100 hours, stuff like that.
He was talking about if you. Because you mentioned the algorithm, Marcus, and that's what made me think of it, because he mentioned that if you replace in any situation, if you replace the word algorithm with audience, it's still true, right? Yeah. All the algorithm is just the audience. So it's like you just got to figure out on whatever app you on, whatever your audience, like you have to figure out
how to engage with them.
How do you engage with the audience? Because the algorithm is a direct reflection of the audience and how they spend their time on that app. So YouTube's algorithm is different than TikTok's algorithm because their audience is different. So it's like you on TikTok, you want to figure out, okay, when is the average person that spends their time on TikTok? When are they scrolling on TikTok the most? What are they hopping on TikTok for? What do they want to see on TikTok? What are they trying to get the most out of TikTok? Same thing with YouTube. Like, when are people spending the most time on YouTube? Not the shorts, but when are people sitting down and watching hour-long episodes on YouTube? What are they trying to, it's the audience. So anytime you ask yourself that question, you can just really flip-flop algorithm for audience, and it will help you get a way better idea of the type of content you need to be putting out. And also throw away, because Marcus, you're going to be coming up in December with your first episode. Throw away, I mean, it's possible, but throw away the concept or the possibility or the idea that your first episode is going to hit.
Yeah, that's pretty much done deal. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, you're going to push that one harder than any other one, most likely. I'm already hit. That's why I mentioned these influencer pages. Like, I got on my DMs right now.
Yeah,
I'm so ready. Like, cause I already know it's gonna take like weeks of pushing it. Like, cause my brother did it first. First music video did 1 million views here in Baltimore. A producer actually made, and he pushed that video. I mean, on billboards. I mean, he pushed that whole promo push for it, and the PR push was really done like through local pages and like everywhere. Like, he just nailed down on that one thing.
Since you're from Baltimore, how did you guys connect?
Oh, that's a funny story. Like, Marcus actually used to be one of my closers.
Yeah.
For an offer that I had, and we just kind of connected off of just us both being in sales, us both
He
being
was like,
in the
he went
north.
to like PA. He was in PA. I was like, yo, what's this at? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it was
That's
so
cool.
crazy. But we got connected. The crazy thing is even more crazy. We got connected through somebody in the Philippines.
Philippines.
What?
Yeah, like
Real talk.
we got connected through my VA connected me to one of the guys who was working under the closing agency that he was under, and he introduced me to Marcus as one of my potential closers, and that's how me and Marcus got connected. And I kind of pivoted because I had to, going back to essentialism. When you start focusing on too many things, you try to scale too fast, you end up not scaling at all. That's why I had to even cut down the offer that Marcus was pitching at the time to go back and focus on the podcast and focus on what the core offers needed to be. Which I'm glad I made that pivot, but that's just kind of the long story short.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Well,
yeah, that's why I'm like, I have bought all this streaming stuff, moving too fast, and I'm working on timing. Like everyone's like, create a podcast, and I'm like, the timing's off right now. But they're enjoying these lives, so I'm gonna stick to doing lives until I can get to where I want to be. Now, I really wish I could screen record my lives and upload them to YouTube.
You can get some. Wait, why can't you? Oh, well, you can get that done. I mean, well, if you get a second phone, you can just dedicate that
Yeah,
phone
I'm
to
gonna
doing
get a second phone. Yeah.
You actually can. It just doesn't. It just doesn't look as good.
And you can do it with your computer too. I mean, technically.
It's a website. It's a website that you put in the Instagram live link, and it will help.
Please send that to me.
Yeah, or you can screen record.
Yeah, I want to have to screen record though. If I can get a link and just like how I do it
for an hour is crazy. Screen record is crazy. That's
on your computer.
Because I got 2-hour lives and shit.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you can do it on your computer for sure, because you can watch the same live like on your computer. Just get a separate account, and that's what what I would do. Get a second account just to watch your account, and then just make sure.
Wait, you can watch lives on your computer?
Yep, sure can.
On Instagram?
Yep, sure can. Like I've done that before.
Yeah, you can.
You can. You can watch stories and lives on. And you can watch reels on Instagram on the computer.
Yeah. Like matter of fact, I'm gonna open a live right now. I can react to it and everything.
Oh, okay. Oh, do you do live streaming like on Discord and stuff?
I've done live streaming before. I've done like Twitch live streaming before. I streamed on MLG.TV at one point. I used to like do that for like semi-professionally, I would say. Like I was doing content creation before this, and that's fascinating because like me getting back into it now is just for a whole different reason. So just better have a better structure of it because it's like a pivot, I would say. Like, I plan on getting back into that too. So it's like super exciting.
Yeah, I love watching people on Twitch. It's so addicting.
Yeah, so it's fun. It's actually like it's been something I've been into. I think I first started doing it in like 2012. I was not even 2012.
Dang.
I say it was like 20. Let's see, 2016.
Twitch now
16,
got
17.
Like programs where they got the whole like now they paying people to be full time.
Oh yeah, for sure. The affiliate thing was like quick. Yeah. Like I think I've made like off the bit system when they introduced bits, like I made like $300 off of that like really quickly. Like I don't even know, like I just got like a whole bunch of bit donations all at once. And then like because they're partnered with Amazon and you get like Prime subscriptions and things like that, like it's really a lot simple. And because they're letting people who got like food stamps and all this other stuff get Prime for like $5. Like so you got so many people subscribing. They actually said that they had an influx of people like as soon as food stamps came up, Twitch said like released an article about it. They had an influx of people just putting up Prime subscriptions.
Yeah. The only thing about you might even want to consider like if you are going to continue to do the lives when you do them, Tosh, maybe transition straight to Twitch, or I mean, I would say Twitch or YouTube, but I would say probably Twitch if you want that, like because Twitch kind of has like that TikTok factor when it comes to streaming. Like if you stream more consistently, you're probably better off growing an audience on Twitch than you would YouTube.
Or Kick now.
See, my followers, the women, they were like, do YouTube. They would fuck with me on YouTube. Like my audience, they're not Twitch, like,
They're not into Twitch.
Yeah, YouTube.
So they say listen to your audience.
Yeah, convenience wise, they would say YouTube, then YouTube probably might be a way to go. I mean, and plus you can you'll be able to monetize quick, I feel like. Just because you have that like that Gaza factor. I feel like that'll always like, even if you do like most recent, that'll always like show up.
Yeah.
Right.
You already have a YouTube page, Tosh?
Uh-huh.
You already got the subs?
Between that
Yeah,
and
I
Big
got
O,
like 800 and something subs, and that's without really even trying. So I'm like, imagine if I
200
tried.
up.
Yeah. You got to get, once you get to 1,000 and you get those 4,000 watch hours, you can start throwing in memberships on
It should
your
get
YouTube. You can start getting
Yeah.
paid off of ads and everything like that.
Yeah.
I should get that, but then like I mean, if just stream 2 hours long, so like there's no time. It's almost no time with what you already have included. It's probably you'll probably get that in like
All right, y'all. I'm about
30
to wrap
minutes.
up. I'm about to wrap up the YouTube live, so I could give so I can, before we part, I can give Tosh that game. For those
Okay.
that are joining us on YouTube, if you want to join us for the post live party, make sure you hit that
It's
join.
gonna get big.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Hop in on the Pro Creator level. Join us on Discord so that you can get access to the Zooms, and we'll see y'all in those post live parties. But we getting ready to end this stream.
Oh,
All right, cool. So,
sweet.
Tosh, what I wanted to show you was because